What's going on, YouTube? It's Big Brother 749 coming back at you with another video. I want to talk about whether or not the Democratic Party, as well as the Democrats and liberals, are bad people, because they often get a bad rep. They're considered evil by a lot of the conservatives. They give Democrats a bad name, saying that the devil worshippers, child murderers, they don't love God, they anti-God, they immoral, they don't have no values. And this video is basically trying to figure out whether or not there's some truth to that, because they're saying that their values don't really reflect anything positive or moral or good. And I bring this up because I've been listening to a lot of conservative talk radio. I don't agree with everything they say, and I don't agree with all the Trump worship, but some of the stuff that they be saying as far as morality does make sense. I can kind of understand the conservative moral code, the moral aspect of it, the values such as anti-gay marriage and how marriage should be traditional man and woman. And I think a lot of black Democrats, the ones who's older and religious, tend to have those same values and probably will become Republicans themselves if the party had policies that benefited black people. It wasn't just limited to white voters, because I don't think no black person want to feel like a coon, feeling like the odd one out, voting Republican. I mean, there's no law saying that blacks have to vote Democrat, and I typically don't vote at all. But when I do, I vote Democrat, because from my personal experience, I can remember things being better off in this country when the Democrats been in office, plain and simple. Plus, I'm all for tax increases on the rich, because the Republicans, all they did was kept us in war and in debt. Plus, I think it's cool. I'm all for people being free and happy. I fully don't agree with the Democratic platform. I support 100%. I probably agree with like 70% or 80% of it. And just like folks see flaws in the Republican Party, such as trying to overthrow the government, a lot of people feel the same way about Democrats, because this is a party that supports abortion and gay marriage, which is why the Democratic Party lost a lot of supporters right off the bat because of that, and how it's just known as a corrupt system, a party that only benefits the wicked, the evil, and the immorality. But really, I don't think the Democratic Party is as bad as they say it is. I mean, it's not perfect, but some of it has been exaggerated a little bit, where it makes folks feel like Democrats and liberals are really bad people. And they make them feel like it's bad to be a Democrat or a liberal, and the Democratic Party is corrupt and evil. That's how it make them feel, because conservatives feel that this is a party with no political agenda. We don't think like they do. We only go by what we're feeling at the moment. Like, for example, they talk about how Biden has signed executive orders for illegal immigration, how he's welcoming illegals, and then how the Democrats support same-sex marriage, and they support abortion. Plus, they put in prison reform, focusing on criminal inmates over stuff like schooling, forgiving student loan debt, and job programs to help hire folks. And this party gets demonized by the right wingers and conservatives, because they just want to fight for what they think is white. What they think is right, and they claim to be Christians, and I doubt it. And they want to talk about how this is a Christian nation, and they feel it's unpatriotic to call out the faults of it. And when they do call out the faults of it, then the Democrats and liberals will slant at them as racist, anti-immigrant, homophobic, xenophobe, Nazi, hate monger, and will try to intimidate them into silence and have their views banned in hate speech. And my thing is, both parties are flawed, but I truly don't believe that the Democratic Party is as evil as the Republican Party. Nor do I think the Democratic Party's the supporters are evil. They just want fairness and equality. They don't necessarily want special treatment. And the Democrats, they're not perfect, and being a Democrat ain't nothing to brag about. But the good of the Democrats outweigh the bad of the Democrats, because we living in a time now where today's generation is becoming more accepting. Everybody's different, and everybody's life is different. And I don't think it's wrong to vote Democrat, because I feel that the Democratic Party has good intentions. I think they honestly want to help people. They just don't realize some of the insane damage that they do. The Democrats, for the most part, are sympathetic, but sometimes I think they tend to follow easy solutions and don't think of the long-term ramifications, such as prison reform. I mean, there could be folks who's wrongfully locked up for extended periods of time over minor offenses such as marijuana, and there's a lot of violence going on in prison, and Democrats may feel that that's more important than canceling student loans that a college student had borrowed and promised to pay back. And because of prison reform, college graduates now have to work on paying back a crap load of money, because now it's their obligation to pay it. when all the inmates that the Democrats tend to take up for and tend to focus on are not innocent. Stuff like that. And same-sex marriage, I don't support same-sex marriage. I'm a fair and rational guy, but that just I can't roll with that at all. Just because I support a party don't mean I have to agree with everything they believe in. Personally, I think Obama supported to get another term. I don't think he truly wanted that. I mean, they killing him right now on YouTube because of that reparations thing. Plus, I don't think same-sex marriage is happening in large groups like that anyway, since most people are straight. And I think gay people were born gay. They've always felt that way and just want to take advantage of this support. I don't think they want it to be that way. I mean, same-sex relationships should be okay enough. I just don't like the legalization of it. But other things like illegal immigration, really legal or illegal, could be beneficial for this country because it adds value and is beneficial for our economy. It gives great value to our economy. They do the work that a lot of Americans can and won't do, like picking tomatoes, for example. They fill in the gaps in our labor workforce. I don't think we should generalize all the immigrants that come in. It's a good thing because they just trying to survive. They talking about securing the border because it ain't legal to let them come. But many years ago, it was legal to own slaves. And in Germany, it was legal to kill the Jews and anyone else that was undesired in that society. Plus, immigrants come in illegally because there's no other way to come here. The legal system takes longer. I mean, yeah, immigrants, they take American jobs. Yeah, that's true. But there's, a lot of people out here, not all, but a lot who don't want to work. They don't want to go out and search for jobs and fill out applications. A lot of Americans are too picky when it comes to jobs. And even when we poor, we want to start at the top, want more than the other person. And as far as abortion, I don't always think it's because they're baby killers and don't care for human life, because I don't think anybody plans to abort a child. There's situations where women out here who got raped, or if they didn't get raped, they got knocked up by some dude because of their raging hormones and lack of self-control and got pregnant. And due to their circumstances, they ain't able to take care of a child. If she aborts it, then she could continue her normal life, which includes finishing school, avoiding eviction, not losing her job. And there will be less children in the foster system, less children being abused by unhappy parents in bad foster homes. And Democrats may feel that banning abortion, all that's going to do is increase poverty and reduce the amount of education girls get because they say a fetus is not a human legally. We don't know everybody's situation, Plus, they've been talking about banning abortion for years because we had 8 years of Reagan. He was in office for 8 years, from 1980 to 1988. Bush Sr., he was in there for 4 years. Plus, we had Bush Jr. for eight years. 3 Republican presidents, and abortion is still around. They just say that, they're against abortion just to get votes, but they didn't do nothing about it. So you got to understand that, and abortion is still around. And the Democrats is in charge. We had 3 Republican presidents, and they ain't done nothing about it, just campaign talk. And during these campaigns, they're like, I'm against abortion. And the Republican voters are like, yeah, we want him. But they didn't do nothing about it when they get in office. So these folks just need to quit being fooled all the time. Just like the bill that just been passed. Not one Republican senator went for it. It's like, why y'all against helping Americans, helping people pay their rent, helping people stop getting evictions and trying to stop people from getting $1,400? Why y'all against that? See, that's why they're against the increase of minimum wage. They were against Bernie Sanders because they say he was a socialist. He wanted to make health care and colleges free, yet they labeled him a socialist. But the rich don't pay taxes. That's not socialism, because the Republicans, they are folks who are trying to take your rights away from you, and that's who conservatives want to vote for. Just like Trump, he's a con man. He knows they're stupid. He knows these folks are fools who actually think he gives a damn about them, but he's a billionaire. He wouldn't even come to your house and eat your damn food. He ain't one of the boys or nothing. You can't even get into his golf course or afford to spend a night at any of his hotels. But the conservatives and the Republicans love him like he's one of them. And he wouldn't even let you in. They love him even though he's using the shit out of them. They impeached him twice. And that's a stain on his presidency. He's a criminal. And these Republican senators, they keeping him up. If they were honest with themselves, he would have been gone. Republicans, they scared of him. That's how he got over. He got a lot of court cases against him now that he's out of office. Tax fraud and all that. they can't protect him now, which is why he was trying to stay in office, which wasn't necessary. So he got to deal with the real world. And Republicans haven't done nothing for this country since Eisenhower. And if he was alive today, he'll be a Democrat. And while the Democratic Party ain't perfect, I think it means well. The voters, they just want to do what's best for their situation instead of being restricted by some law. They don't want to hurt anybody or cause any harm, I don't believe. They just want things to be fair. You know, Democrats and liberals, they ain't bad people. They just believe change need to be embraced and society needs to continue to experiment in order to figure out what's best for the country, even though I don't agree with all of it. But anyway, that's all I want to say. This is Big Brother 749 signing out. I'm out. Peace.